guys, welcome to the kitchen. Coach Chris with Chef Gui, and we're going to talk. I'm laughing already. We're going to talk
about that. What's funny?
Nothing's funny about that, but what's funny is this is a recipe to get laid.
That's right. That's right.
This is going to make you look like a dynamo in the kitchen because the ingredients are like, ooh, very impressive. Fancy, and it's going to taste really good, but it's easy. It's like a no-brainer, right?
That's the point, and you have to take it from a French chef there, a skinny French chef also, okay? Here's the deal. This is a recipe that's going to take you 10 minutes to do. Not that expensive to make. No cleanup whatsoever. Right. Maybe just like a 5-minute cleanup, okay? At the end of the day, because you don't want to be cleaning at the end of the day.
No, right? You want to be in the kitchen at the end of the day. You want to be in another room.
That's right. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to do that and make it look like it's so fancy that a restaurant chef did it. And that's where you come into play because there's no restaurant chef in the house. There's only you. And that with the ladies, you score a lot of points.
That's it. Well, let's get to it. Show us how to prepare this awesome meal.
Here's the deal. The first recipe I have is the fanciest of them all, is a rack of lamb. The rack of lamb, just the name of it, the rack of lamb, is kind of like a nice thing to hear, okay? So it is lamb, but the rack of lamb is kind of mild. In fact, it's very mild. It doesn't have that you know, a strong taste that you know, venison or other parts of the lamb do have, okay? And I have some root vegetables. Now, you know, guys are like, what? A root vegetable? What is this? They just grow in the ground. You know, one of them, that's a carrot. That's a root vegetables also, okay? One thing that I do, and I'm gonna give you a tip right there, is that for weight control, I leave the skin on. These are washed, but I leave the skin on because all the nutrients are just under the skin, and also it brings a lot of fiber. Guess what? That's gonna be your first topic of conversation when you sit down with your lady, or if you're a lady with a man, or whatever it is that you enjoy, you know. But the point is that you want a topic of conversation. Leaving the skin on is a great topic of conversation, and guess what? It cuts your prep time in half. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna take the carrot and I'm gonna make some big chunks like that, okay? Get rid of the ends, and I cut it in a bias, as we call it. You don't have to cut it like that, but you know, that helps and make you look kind of fancy, right? Don't cut your fingers with that because then there's no day to talk about tonight. But otherwise, cut this. I'm done with my carrots. And I'm gonna use a turnip. That's a turnip, and all of this is available at your grocery store, okay? I'm just gonna cut it just like that. And if you notice, you know, I even leave the top right there, you know, no brainer. I cut it just like this, done, boom. I put everything at the same time in the same pan, and I don't worry too much about the way it looks. I just cut it. Don't worry, because when it's cooked, it's gonna look awesome. Now, that's the beet. You may not like beet, don't use beet. Just put more carrots, turnips, rutabaga is one of them, celery root. Same thing here. I'm just gonna cut the end real quick, and I'm just cut it. And you notice that I do that last. Why do I do that last? Because it might stain your fingers, right? Boom. I'm gonna do the same with these vegetables. And I don't really care about the way I cut them. That's not a big deal. Bigger, smaller, don't worry about it. You have other things to worry about. These are just the cut vegetables. I'm gonna go ahead and drizzle a little bit of extra virgin olive oil in it. Of course, some salt and pepper. If you want to put chopped garlic, that's fine also. I like rosemary. I'm just gonna put some rosemary everywhere. I also like fresh oregano, which can be dry oregano also, okay? Be creative with the spices, you know, you're gonna be just fine. Then I'm gonna mix it to coat all those vegetables like that. Look at the color of that thing. One thing that is very important, look at what I'm cooking with. This pan is aluminum pan. And why do I do that? Because at the end of the night, I don't worry about cleaning it. I just put it in the trash because you will have other things to do than cleaning it. Oh, I forgot to cut that one. Let's do that. All right. The vegetables are all cooked with olive oil. I put salt and pepper, rosemary, fresh oregano, and it goes right in the oven. Same thing here, 375, 350, and I'm done with this, and I can go for the lamb right here. Now the rack of lamb, we were discussing this with Chris earlier, okay? Some people don't like lamb. I tell you what, for your date, don't even tell them it's lamb. Rack of lamb is so mild, it's almost like beef. People say they don't like lamb because they're thinking about, you know, leg of lamb or you know, lamb shoulder, which is much stronger. The rack of lamb is very mild. So here is it. You know, it just comes from the rack that, you know, you can discuss that also. So I'm gonna go ahead, salt and pepper, boom, very quickly. Now the secret ingredient is the Dijon mustard, okay? Dijon mustard, I'm just gonna grab right here, a teaspoon. And I'm gonna coat that rack of lamb with mustard completely, look at this, okay? Just like that. So far so good, easy, right? And then I have some Parmesan cheese, and I'm gonna cover and make a crust with it. So Dijon mustard will bring some spiciness a little bit, but not so much as it cooks, you know, it's gonna go great with the lamb. And then I put Parmesan cheese on the top of this. Now, you notice one thing, you notice that I put the vegetables cooking in the oven right now. I put them in there ahead of time, probably 20 minutes ahead of time. I wanna cook the vegetables 20 minutes before, then I'm gonna take the rack of lamb, and I'm just gonna put it on the top of the vegetables. And that's all there is to it. Follow the instructions for the cooking time, take it out, let it rest, and I'll show you how to cut it, put it on a plate like restaurant style, so you can impress whoever you're having dinner with. Alright, so my vegetables have been cooking in the oven at 350, 375 degrees for maybe 15 minutes. Watch this. They just started cooking. You can smell them. They have taken a little color, a little smell, and that's a good thing. And remember our lamb with the crust, Dijon mustard, Parmesan, we're just gonna put it in there. Now something magical is gonna happen here. The lamb is gonna cook with the Parmesan cheese and the Dijon mustard. It's gonna give away some juices, and those juices are gonna fall right underneath on the root vegetables, and that's what's gonna bring all your dish together. Now remember, this is one pan, that's what you have to clean. You don't even have to clean it, it's aluminum. You can throw it away when you're done. This is going in the oven. Now this is going to stay in there for 15 minutes. At 15 minutes, you have a lamb that is medium rare. We'll talk about it in a minute on how to put it on a plate, which is one of the most important things that you can do. This is going to be restaurant style, with the rack of lamb pointing out. We put a little garnish, the colorful vegetable underneath. It's going to look awesome, and you're going to look like a boss. So now is the time to take the lamb out of the oven. It's ready. It's calling me. I can tell. It's right there. All right, look at this lamb. So remember what we did, right? We cut the vegetables, the root vegetables, doesn't matter what they are, carrots, beets, turnips, rutabagas, celery root also, and we toast them with olive oil, salt and pepper, a little bit of herbs, a little bit of garlic if you want to, some cayenne pepper to give them some spice if you want to. We put that in the oven for 20 minutes to get them started, and after that we worked on the lamb. On the lamb, there's nothing else than the crust of Dijon mustard and Parmesan cheese right there. Now here comes the most important part of this. This is cooked, both the lamb and the vegetables, but I'm not gonna eat it yet. I'm gonna set it up right here, and I'm gonna wait for about half the time that it has cooked. And this is your most important tip. This is a chef tip 101. Anything you cook on the grill, on the stove, in the oven, roast any meat, rest them half the time that they have cooked. If you cook a steak like a filet mignon on the grill, don't serve it straight away. If it cooked for 10 minutes, let it rest for 5 minutes before you serve it. Why? because that rehydrates all the meat from the inside out, and it's gonna turn your steak into the juiciest steak ever. And that's the same with the lamb. So that lamb cooked for about 15-20 minutes. So I'm gonna wait here and not do anything for 5-10 minutes. All right, we just waited 10 minutes for that lamb to rehydrate from the inside out, tenderize itself at its rest. That's one of the most important things that you can do to impress your date. Because remember, we are on a mission here. You need to look like a boss. Watch this. If you can take your date in the kitchen, that's even better, because people like to see that. So watch this. The rack of lamb, I want you to take a look at this, okay? This is the part of, the loin, the back of the lamb, and it has ribs, just like we do have ribs, okay? And the goal is to take your knife, big knife, and actually slice it in between. That's what I'm gonna do now. Effortless. I don't work against it. Now look at this. Isn't that a perfect medium rare? That's a perfect medium rare, okay? If you like it more cooked, give it another 10 minutes. But this is the way that is the most tender, the most tasty, and really awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut every 2 ribs. 1 rack of lamb will easily serve 2 people. All right? Now I can tell it has rested because it's moist all over, okay? And it's tender. You can see how, as I push the tongues there, see how juicy it is? This is wonderful. So I'm gonna lay it here, and now I'm gonna go ahead and put some vegetables. I'm gonna mix it a little bit. Before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and put a little lime juice in there. That doesn't do much, it just brings a little acidity and taste, and that's gonna be great for the vegetables. I also have some chopped parsley right there that you can do or not do, and I'm just gonna add some color. Look at the color that adds, okay? All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and plate, and look, I have a big white plate. I try not to work with colored plate. We don't want brown plate, we don't want blue plate, we don't want red plate, we want white plate. Why? Because that brings the color of whatever you have cooked, and that's important. So see, I'm putting it right in the middle there. You notice that I leave some spacing there, and that's important for restaurant style, right? We want the color to be in the middle, okay? It's kind of like a fine art print that you see in a museum. It's surrounded by that white space like that, and that's important. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take a little paper towel here. Look what I'm doing with my paper towel. I'm folding it in 2 right here, and I put it right here. And I'm gonna take 2 of the ribs, and I'm gonna put them in there to make sure that doesn't leach on the plate. And I'm gonna put it like this, and make a nice thing like that, right in the middle. And I have my herbs. Where are my herbs? Who stole my herbs? Chris. My herbs. Here you go. Thank you, Chris. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put 1 oregano right in the middle, like that, okay? And maybe 1 rosemary, like that, okay? All right. Now watch this. Restaurant style plating. This looks like a $40 plate in a fancy restaurant. Took you 10 minutes to do. Clean up, it's 5 minutes. 15 minutes, you have a date. If you don't get laid, don't blame it on me.